Hi, Elberethi and Abarat here, and today I'm going to be playing Regency Love. Um, it's one of my absolute favorite games. Like, absolutely, so freaking cute. Um, it also has one of the prettiest soundtracks, but to avoid any copyright claims, I'm going to mute it, and I will leave a link to it in the description because it's absolutely gorgeous. And so, honestly, one of the hardest parts is always choosing a name. And so, I'm calling myself Elbow, like Elbow, like Elberethi and Apparat, because I'm amazing. And I think it's very cute, very funny. And I think it's even funnier because later on, um, the the whole there's a character named Ellie, and it's like, oh dang, I just think it's really funny. And so, yeah, this beginning part is kind of like introducing you to everything. Um, Mary is so sweet. She's the sassy best friend, and it's kind of introducing you to everything, introducing you to how you play. It's great. Um, and so I am trying to kind of play slow enough for you guys to read the cards. But this is me playing it through and trying to do the best I can, um, to like play it slow, but also like go through it. And so this is kind of like getting into the what's it called? The Getting into the flow of how the game works. So this letter is addressed to your aunt, and so there's there's this kind of like underlying story. Like, I have a couple of theories of what's going on, but you have a brother. The main character has a brother, and you just don't know what happened to your brother. And so that's what we think is in this letter that we're sending to our aunt. Um, yeah, if anything else has been following your brother, he's been estranged. My personal headcanon is that he's the hermit in the woods. Personal headcanon. I do want to write like a fanfic of this where he's a pirate, and he's just out on the seas, and he comes back, and we run off and become a pirate. But that's kind of like really random. Okay, Mr. Graham, he's cute and he's adorable. I bet he's a fan favorite. He is also DLC, so there is he's an extra story. His story is very cute, very different, but also I didn't want to play through his story first. Oh gosh, I love visiting with everybody in the town, because everybody has like different things going on. Like, these people seem very nice. Like, I would love to know more about like Louisa and Henrietta and about what they're going through. Charlotte's adorable. And like, you recognize the names. Lord Fat Cat is like the peak character. Also, this gentleman, favorites. I wish we could romance the gentleman, but we can't. He's just the gentleman. And then there's Mrs. Norris, who's very she's very stereotypical of just silly Mrs. Norris. Like, what are we are we supposed to like you? What are we supposed to do with you, Mrs. Norris? But I do like reading through like her prattlings and her nonsense. It's very silly. And it's a perfect opportunity for you to determine your character in this story, because each of your answers gives you different points in who you are as a person, as a character, which is really just fun. It's absolutely fun. And the funnest part is that your character characteristics determine the ending. There is a prologue at the end, and we'll see what this character ends up doing as at the end, and we'll kind of see what goes. I think we're going to be trying to romance Ellie's brother, actually, Ashcroft, because he was my first. Okay, look, Mr. Digby seems fine and boring and a very Mr. Collins character. Honestly, I kind of love this awkward person. Like, oh, Mr. Digby. Mr. Digby. Like, you seem like well-intentioned, but also boring. Just Mr. Digby. Mr. Ashcroft. Yes. Okay, this is who we're going to be trying to romance this time around. Your mother, very... and you see, she's taken on my last name is Mrs. Bow. And so you can go through, you choose how you want to be. Is that mud on your shoes? And so it goes through this whole scenario. It's cute. It really is very cute. I love these interactions and being able to play through them. Okay, and here's like kind of you talking to yourself. It's your bedroom. It's very cute. I really do love the art style and all of the sketchy painting feel. And here's the map. These people do seem sweet. Okay, Mr. Worthington. They really are very sweet. And a part of the plot is also, well, your father has died. It's been a year. It's time to go put yourself out there, you know. And so there is that. And so as I'm trying to think about different things to share with you, like read through some of this, and it's really hard because so much of this is a combination of the beautiful aesthetics, the story that you're reading, but then also the music. And as I said, I was going to upload it with the music and all, just have the music, which is very cute and everything, but there's a copyright claim on it. And I will have to link it in the description because it is just gorgeous. It really adds to the feel and the aesthetic. I highly recommend the music. And so, like, as I am thinking about what words I will say, I'm also thinking of, like, what's supposed to be sounding right now, what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so we meet a few people from Worthington's balls, and and so yeah, sometimes I will also go through and make sure that I have talked with everyone and everything. And it does give you enough information to go through. Oh, and then the skills. The skills do also determine the story choices that you're able to take. Some chapters you're not able to take until you have enough in dancing, you have enough skill in needlework, if you have enough in reading. It really, I just really like how this what's it called, how this story is, how this game really is set up. And so, as you see, also your character traits: compassionate, dutiful, spirited, forthright, sensible. There are so many different ways that there are so many different characteristics. Those aren't the only ones. And as you can see, there's a few. Each of these little chapters is a different story. And then you can also get. All right, you're gonna watch me just absolutely fail at some of these. Like, I used to. Depending on the day, sometimes I'm really good at these questions, and sometimes I just do not remember what the answer is supposed to be. So I know, shame on me. But these motivation points are what you use for, what are they called? For skill. They're skill points. There we go, Emma Woodhouse. I think that's one of the first ones that I really got right. I do like Emma, like the movie Emma, this 2020 version. Emma was the last movie I watched before the virus happened and closed everything down. So it's a special movie. I love it. And this is kind of just me poking around, playing around. Yeah, I just think everything is cute. It's a lot of me trying to decide what I'm going to do. Oh, okay. So Mr. Mortimer's haberdashery. God, Mary is really, really good. And this is Ellie Ashcroft. I just think this person looks like a child. Like, why are you running a haberdashery? Oh, she's such a brave little girl. I am so proud of her. She's like 12, 14? Oh, and then I have all, so the people who wrote this, is it T for 2, T for 3 Studios or something? They have written a book about Ashcroft, Ellie Ashcroft, and I've bought it, but I haven't taken the time to read it yet. I think after this playthrough, I'll read it and give you guys kind of like, oh, Elbow reads such and such, you know? I feel like that was a big thing in the early 2010s, like those kind of videos, you know, like so and so reads Twilight and that kind of thing. And so, and this encounter really is one of the first places that I really love seeing, like, you really show who you are as a person. It gives you more interesting options. And here we meet Mr. Ashcroft. Handsome boy, pretty blue eyes. Oh, she's stammering. She promised that she did not. And then we get to read through this, through the options. And then I'll read through the one that I think it's that one, Mr. Mortimer, it seems like the lace. Or that one. There we go. That there were other ruined pieces. I think it's very cute that I really forgot about Ellie when I was picking my name earlier, but Elbow is very cute. And like, I'm glad to make your acquaintance. It's a pleasure. Rather long look. Oh, they are so good at writing this. And so I go around and I talk to everybody again. And so, yeah, this is a lot more just going through some housekeeping, you know. Alright, let's see what was my next encounter. Oh, it's an encounter with Mrs. Norris. And so this is her, like, all worried about the army men in town. And so, like, that's interesting. And it's so, like, if you followed Mr. Graham's, what's it called, Mr. Graham's path and story, you would realize more on that side. And the thing is that none of these romance paths are easy. They all have different people against them, people for them. Mrs. Norris will not like anybody except for Mr. Digby. And on my list, I do want to romance Mr. Digby at some point, but I haven't actually gotten his ending yet because it's tricky. And then Mr. Winslow and Miss Ingram, they're a secondary romance that's going on. And how you interact with them actually determines whether they get together or whether they don't, which is scandalous. I really enjoy when they do get together, but I have had a couple of playthroughs where they don't, which was heartbreaking because I think Winslow really is a butt. He is not a very nice dude at the beginning, but he grows up, and I think that's really nice. And otherwise, it's just sort of, it's a cute childhood friends to lovers situation, which is really good. And then you just get to see me absolutely suck at these questions. I mean, I love trivia, and I like Regency era history and all of that. I have a bunch of different historical costumers, historical seamstresses that I follow on YouTube, but I forget a lot. And yeah, this is you influencing Ingram, Miss Ingram, Phoebe, I think. And so I'm trying to be a good friend to help Miss Ingram. So, we'll see. Honestly, I know that there's weird gaps as I'm thinking of what to say and everything, and how to voice over this. And honestly, I'm not too worried about it because it's going to be really fun to look back at later and kind of cringe how bad I am at this. But it's also part of like my journey right now of my whole goal with YouTube is to be bad at things, to be bad at it and to just put it up, to just do it, because there's no way I'm going to be better at this until I'm bad at it. And so the more that I do it, the better I'm going to get. I'm just going to suck at it right now. I'm going to be cringe. I'm going to absolutely love this. So you're just going to have to deal with me sucking for a bit. Okay, I am so much better at the hangman games than the trivia. It's silly, but it's fun. And so this is really a lot. So this first video is a lot of just how the game is played, all of that. And you get to see me kind of flounder at different things and play through it. And if you really want to, absolutely feel free to mute me talking. Go find the what's it called, the soundtrack. And honestly, there's a couple of different soundtracks that happen throughout, but it's mainly one called Lightly by a Ken Ecklington. It's absolutely gorgeous. A lot of his music is just beautiful. Highly recommend. And so, if you want, you can absolutely, what's it called? Absolutely mute me talking and just go ahead and go turn that on in the background, put it on repeat, you know? Oh, Mr. Curtis! Okay, so the very first Jane Austen adaptation I actually watched was Sense and Sensibility, the one with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet and Snape and Hugh Grant. Alan Rickman, that's it. And so Mr. Curtis is absolutely based on a Colonel Brandon Alan Rickman character. And honestly, after I first my first ever playthrough with this game, I aimed for Ashcroft and I absolutely loved it. But then it's like, okay, I've got to play it again. I've got to play through Mr. Curtis. And oh gosh, I love Mr. Curtis's his whole story is beautiful. I love it. It's dramatic. Oh gosh, I feel so bad anytime I try to romance anyone else, but Mr. Curtis is absolutely my favorite. But he's the one that you want if you're into reading, and Alan Rickman and everything. It's very, gosh, I have a super soft spot for Mr. Curtis. So I think rankings, okay, out of the people that you can romance, my favorite is Mr. Curtis, and then Mr. Ashcroft, and then honestly it's Mr. Digby after that, and then it's Mr. Graham, and then there's a couple of people that you interact with that you can't, what's it called, that you can't romance, and that's okay, like the gentleman. And you'll meet the other one later. So that'll be good. And so you'll see like your stats change, and then you can choose your your chapters. Um, so, okay, afternoon tea. This one's just absolutely sweet. And then after this, uh, you get a, depending on how you answered, because she introduces you to macarons. And if you choose to eat macarons and to bring some home, you get the gluttony trait, which is just funny. It's just funny, but I also think that's probably the politest choice in this whole situation. But she's very sweet. Like, I just want to be Ellie's friend. So I think it's very cute and funny that it's Elle and Ellie. And then there's also an option, like you saw at the very beginning. Excuse me. At the very beginning, you saw an option to have a nickname. I've tried it a few times, and I think that pops up like when you're talking to Ellie, but I've never gotten the nickname to work, to actually show up and not be just your regular generic name. Also, every time there's like a memory, you get these cute little paintings. Ah, gosh, he's so cute. I'll have to remember to show you a collection of the paintings in the menu. I just think it's very cute. It's very, very cute. But this one, gosh, Ellie Ashcroft is so freaking cute. And I'm super excited to read the story about her, because that just came out in the past couple of years. So I was looking up this game, and apparently it came out in 2013, which makes me 10 years late to this, but happy 10-year anniversary to Regency love. I love this game. I want more games like it. I would love to have more options and more games from these developers. They're just absolutely beautiful. I'll have to go digging and see what else there is, but I'll definitely have to jump into the book and read it with you guys. Gosh, Mr. Ashcroft is so good. He, like, all of the romanceable characters are so good. It really just depends what story you're looking for. Mr. Ashcroft is clearly a Mr. Darcy. Between him and his sister and the random, not random, but like his story more closely resembles a Mr. Darcy story. So you've got your Mr. Darcy, you've got your Mr. Brandon, and you've got your little army dudes. That story. And so I think those are like the main things here in this game. So there's just lots of options. And then there's my last, like, putting everything together. Oh gosh. Yep, this is, you get to oversee like Phoebe and Tom, Miss Ingram and Mr. Winslow. And like, it's really cool, like, you get to choose what chapters you do next, and how it all plays out. It depends on your choices. I love games like this. It's a visual novel. I feel like it's part of the course, but I love it. Just absolutely love it. Gosh. Like, I do like that they end up together. Oh, the Woodland Hermit. The Woodland Hermit is who I think main character's brother is. but like we do not get confirmation, and it's like, oh gosh, I need to know. But we'll see. We will see about that. Gosh, there's just a lot of different ways that this could go, and I think I just can't do anything with it until after I've read the book, you know. And like, yeah, I'm best at these little hangman games, better than I am at the trivia. That's just because I'm really good at words. I love words. I'm such a nerd for words. I love it. Happiness. This one is happiness. So, well, as I'm wrapping this up, I just wanted to thank you for spending this time with me and for just hanging out as I play this silly little game. And I hope that you had fun, that you catch me with the next one. And as it's finishing up, we'll check out these other chapters. Anyways, do all the YouTube things. You're amazing. I hope that you have fun. I hope that you get this game for yourself, because it really is just the cutest. Just the cutest. I hope you support them, because that's one of the ways to make sure you get more of these kinds of games and more of these kinds of videos. Leave a comment. Let me know what you liked, if you have also played this game, and if you have any thoughts. Alright, have a good day. You're fantastic. Bye-bye now.